So the best tool to do this with has come from kind of a lifetime of experimenting by me on this mountain here, getting ideas, inspiration by taking this very walk that I'm talking to you right now on. I started off using rammed earth because I thought that the dirt under your feet made the most sense as being a building material. But there's too much variation on the earth's surface of soils, and not all soils are appropriate, and it's vulnerable to water penetration. So it really ended up not being as good an idea as I thought. But concrete, on the other hand, it's resistant to everything. Water makes it stronger, won't burn, won't rot, won't have ultraviolet degradation. And if you use it in a small enough unit, the expansion contraction due to temperature and humidity differentials won't really affect it either. These are all things that my concrete building system has come to the forefront with. It's, in my estimation, from this common sense and observation, it's the most efficient use of cement and concrete that there is, because one is creating simply wall faces out of precast concrete on a small enough size that they're lightweight to be individually manageable and just easy to assemble. And there's two phases, two operations that make this happen. The first one is the precast concrete operation, which you would hope and think that it could be done outside without a investment to get it started. But in actuality, it's so important to have consistency for safety and more efficient use of materials by not having to over strengthen because of the lack of consistency. So you just need an indoor place to be able to precast these wall building units. And then the second aspect of it is simply the assembly of the buildings. Assuming you have the customer, the money, the manpower, the design, the talent to do what that takes. Luckily, the talent thing is only necessarily concentrated in one aspect, and that's the concrete finishing of your horizontal surfaces that these wall panels are constructed upon. If these panels just stack right tight next to each other without any mortar, without any real fudge factor for adjusting different sizes, little being off by your molds being off, making you have to do fancy footwork to make these panels fit right. So between precision molds, which I'll talk about later, and perfectly attainable but requiring an experienced crew to have a really flat surface to build on. That's about the most critical aspect. And there's a lot of different ways to go with this. And since the system is talking about uniformity, the most uniform shape to build, it seems, would be an octagon. 8 identical length sides, which could just really simplify things, and then having a good floor plan for the inside. This design is sort of out there, and we can get that done. Really no problem. Design is a lot more tricky than one thinks, and creating good floor plans is a special talent, and that's kind of one talent that I'm not real good, if any good at all, myself. So there's aspects where getting really talented people to make the most of the space, the construction effort, that's an obvious good thing.